Hello everyone, I welcome you to Drishti IAS and myself Akshay Gurubhaiye. So guys, here we are discussing with the 100 most important high yielding topics for Environment and Ecology UPSC Prelims 2026. Yes guys, and as I already let you know, in this particular session, right, we are in series of sessions. In fact, we are going to have discussion on almost every important topics helping you to crack this examination for sure. Yes, so do follow this series. In total, we are going to have discussion on PYQs, we are going to have question PYQs also, and some other important questions, those are being expected as well. And for every session you will be getting a bonus as well. What is this bonus? You will get into that particular video only, so watch it for sure and you will have a pretty much clarity. So yes, now starting with this particular episode video, what we are having for today. Yes, so topic in this video, we are going to discuss niche and habitat, the very basics of environment and ecology, ecotone edge effect, trophic levels and energy flow, ecological pyramids, biogeochemical cycle, ecological succession, terrestrial and aquatic biomes in itself, bioaccumulation, and the concept of greenwashing, that is itself a kind of, we'll get some additional information. So without wasting time, we shall start the very first thing. See, niche and habitat. Guys, niche and habitat. Niche is what? It is simply what your profession. Yes, in an ecosystem, every species has some kind of function or some kind of work to perform, and that is what your profession itself. Yes, that is a functional role performed by any particular species. Say for example, tiger, that is again having a tertiary consumer role, that is a producer, has its own niche position and role itself. Okay, so every species has its own niche functional role, and one thing that no two species in same ecosystem can have overlapping niche, and thus one or the other time either it will get eliminated or you need to specialize further into. Next is habitat. What is habitat? Habitat is address. Yes, habitat is your address. And what does that mean by address? Address is simply that particular environmental condition or set of condition which helps you to provide like water, you provide water, space, sexual mate, food, and all sort of condition, and then you accept it as an address. Same goes for species. Habitat is simply its address where it gets its basic minimum survival condition and thus it adapts it at. Okay, habitat just could be native habitat or it could be exotic habitat also, so depend on. So like say over here for this goldy finch, you will find the exact niche position is like what, where yes it find it's a perfect role to perform. Yeah, so I hope these two things are pretty much clear. Now I have a question that was asked in the PYQ. So which on the following term describe not only the physical space occupied by an organism but also its functional role in the community of organism, and that itself represent this niche position. Okay, so that is what a niche position then. Now if you are clear with this concept guys, now let's solve this particular practice question for you. You will let me know your understanding, your answer in the comment box, and I'll be discussing all this practice question. For every topic you will have like one practice question, or that way we will be discussing. So that particular answer question will be discussed in the next video then. So let me know answer in the comment box. Next, trophic level and food chain. So guys, the first thing, in an ecosystem, energy transfer is carried out by means of chain or sequence, and this chain or sequence of its energy transfer is simply what, a food chain, because that is carried out in terms of food. Yes, so when food chain, so when every species forms a part of this food chain, it becomes its individual participant. Yes, and when this food chain, interact with number of food chains further. Yes, it interacts with number of food chains in connection. It leads to a web in itself, and that is to be known as a food web. So that is simply a complex integrated food chains gives you a food web system. So in ecosystem generally food waves are in very much operation. Then tropical levels are what? Tropical levels are simply, it is the representation or simply a transfer of energy level by level in an ecosystem. In terms of food chain, you will find transfer of energy from one level to another in an ecosystem. That level is simply what? A tropical level. Yes, so this tropical levels are represented by, you will find producers, you will find then producer, then herbivores or primary consumer, then secondary consumers and tertiary consumers, then yes, and tertiary consumers. So and even saprophytes also, decomposers. Okay, so you will find each of this level, this species, they have part of this food chain, food web itself, and leading to this specific case. Okay, so yes, tropical level and food chain you must be pretty much clear with. Now, have a question that was asked recently over on this particular case, that which of the following are detritivores? Detritivores means those are feeding on dead matter. Yes, those are feeding on dead matter. So they are also known as saprophytes. So see, in this particular case, some known and unknown species are being given, like earthworm. Jellyfish is basically not. Millipede is what? Again a species that feeds on the detritivores itself. Seahorses are not. Woodleys, debunk, that is what generally known as. Okay, so that is what 1, 3 and 5. Okay, 1, 3 and 5. This basically represent this detritivorous chain. Yes, remember there are two types of food chain: grazing food chain and that food chain that starts from this dead food matter as well. Okay, dead or grazing, that dead food chain also. Okay, now have a practice question that was asked in the PYQ also, but this is very easy question I believe, and you are in a position to answer this. Let me know your answer then as well in the comment box. Next, ecological pyramids. So what this ecological pyramids, it means, see, ecological pyramid, it's simply, you will find a pyramid is what? A geometrical shape. So whenever in ecology or ecosystem, a geometrical shape is used for the purpose of ecosystem transformation. Yes, ecosystem energy transformation, that is simply to be known as ecological pyramid. Yes, that is simply to be known as ecological pyramid. And each of this level is simply known as tropical level. Yes, it is known as tropical level. So each tropical level has some reserves of, you will find energy, biomass, number or anything as it. Okay, so that represent the ecological pyramid as you can see over here in this representation. There are three types of pyramids, guys. The one is of biomass, that represents a biomass in this pyramidal structure. But remember, biomass pyramid could be inverted also. Inverted in a sense, in this particular fashion, when one single tree, like wildlife sanctuary, you must have seen Avatar movie also, right? There is one single tree and leading to this particular case also, or like this way, in such a condition, one single tree rather hosts a huge biomass. The pyramid here is inverted itself. Okay, so that is inverted pyramid. Second pyramid is of pyramid of number. Yes, so number pyramid is simply when the species are represented in number over in the given pyramid. That is what a number pyramid, and you will find it could be inverted also. Okay, it could be inverted also, leading to, yes, it could be leading to simply what? A reverse in a way. So for maritime or oceanic ecosystem, it is in the inverted fashion. You must be aware about, because phytoplankton has huge number, however less biomass, and thus that is what getting inverted in nature. And the third one is energy pyramid, guys. Yes, energy pyramid. Remember, energy pyramid is simply what? Energy pyramid is again always upright in nature. ठीक है, that is always upright in nature, है ना. So this pyramid you need to remember that it is always upright in nature, leading to a formation of this particular. Okay, so I hope energy pyramid is pretty much clear to you. Energy pyramid, number pyramid and biomass pyramid, this concept is equally pretty much clear to all. Now, so now guys, in order to have better clarity on this concept, now have look over and try, we shall try solving this question. In an ecosystem, energy flow in an ecosystem is unidirectional. Energy flow unidirectional because, yes, that is because it is upright in direction. Yes, that is always upright in nature. Second, that according to the 10% law, that is law of Lindemann. Okay, according to Lindemann's energy efficiency law, only 10% of energy is transferred from one trophic level to the another. So it means the producers transfer only 10% of their part of energy to the next tropical level, consumer then 10, and then accordingly 10. So this statement equally stands correct, right? So I am taking this question to have a better clarity for you guys. Okay, and energy pyramids can never be inverted. Answer to this question, sorry, this question is 1, 2 and 3. Yes, so Lindemann's energy transfer, types of ecological pyramid, you must be pretty much aware about. Now have a practice question on this. You will answer this in the comment box then. Okay, then biogeochemical cycle. Now, what is biogeochemical cycle? See, cycle, it means something, you cannot trace the very origin and the end of this. Okay? So that process is simply when it continues, it keeps on containing itself, and that process which is supported by life, geo, it means the earth itself, and then chemical also, right? So biogeochemical cycle simply represent what? That is a cyclic phenomena of that passes through life, earth, and the chemical processes involving, and that is recirculating in nature. So in an ecosystem, you will find these biogeochemical cycles are very, very, very crucial in itself. Yes. So there are various nutrient cycle, those are generally represented by this. Yes, nutrient cycle. So nutrient cycles you will find like carbon cycle, then sulfur cycle, then water cycle, that hydrological cycle that we call it as, then phosphorus cycle. Yes, phosphorus cycle, and there are various types of this cycle. You can oxygen cycle, nitrogen cycle. Yes, there are various types of this cycle then in the operation. Now instead of going each one by one, what it is better rather to consider it in terms of the questions asked in the PYQs. Now have a look over which of the following adds or add, okay, which of the following add or adds carbon dioxide to the carbon cycle on the planet Earth. Yes, it is simply asking you for which of the following adds. Okay, so if it adds carbon to the carbon dioxide, sorry, carbon to the carbon cycle, that process, volcanic action, yes, it releases carbon dioxide, then and monoxide also. Respiration, yes, it releases carbon dioxide. Photosynthesis, however, absorbs carbon dioxide, and thus that is not a correct one. Decay of organic matter, that is equally correct. You will find 1, 2 and 4. These are simply what this carbon cycle wala answer. Okay, so that you have to equally focus on these keywords also, guys. Yes, keywords are equally matters a lot. Okay, next practice question. It was basically, you will find the rock, importance of rock in which of the following cycle then. Yes, let me know this answer in the comment box, and I'll be discussing this in the next video then. Biomes, terrestrial and aquatic biomes. Guys, see, in again ecosystem, you will find, see, there is kind of a hierarchy that works. Individual, that again individually it works, then population, the group of individual, then of that same species, then community, it means all living organism in that particular ecosystem, then there comes ecosystem, that is a part of biotic and abiotic factors, then biome, that is comparatively larger geographical area of or in terms of ecosystem, okay, and then the largest one is again the biosphere itself. That is what a biosphere then. So biome is what? A large geographical area having again a kind of uniform properties or ecological properties then. So there are two types of these biomes, like terrestrial biomes and aquatic biomes as well. Okay. Terrestrial, it means simply that represents, that is on land or terrain. If that biome is really work, right, that is simply a terrestrial biome. Okay, that is what a terrestrial biome. So simply guys, this terrestrial biome, then you will find like the equatorial, then monsoonal, then the savanna, then you will find the coniferous biome, then taiga biome, then tundra biome. These are all terrestrial biomes in themselves. Okay, and aquatic, or like here you will find marine biome. Yes, marine or oceanic biome, that is mainly. Then you will find river biome, okay, or river as an ecosystem itself, okay. So mainly for these two major things, okay. So now again guys, remember biome in an ecosystem is one of the major geographical extent for an ecosystem itself. Biome is nothing but an ecosystem, however, for a larger area. So rainforest biome, evergreen biome, that you, monsoonal biome also you may consider it as, okay. Now guys, in order to have again the clarity on this concept, now see the question, it was basically taken as, just to have a clarity for you on this particular topic of biome, okay. So it is not basically a PYQ in itself, okay. So which of the following factors are responsible for the formation of major biomes? Yes, so major biomes, that is you will find this question basically framed from the NCERT itself, okay. That is basically from the NCERT. So rotation of the planet of the earth around the sun, okay. So rotation, in a sense revolution, that we have to consider, right, because that is around the sun, keeping the sun at the center. Tilt of the earth, yes, that leads to seasonal variation, both this, and then annual variation in precipitation, rainfall variation. So all these factors leading to seasons, rainfall variation, temperature variation, you will find answer to this is all simply that. Yes, I hope you guys are getting it, okay. Now I have a practice question basically on this concept of biome then. Yes, this, see, for this kind of question, sir, simply see, whenever you find a lengthy question, yes, because when it appears on the paper it looks like a very lengthier in itself. So whenever you will find a lengthier question, remember that this question is not very difficult, but it is rather something, yes, it is rather something which actually has some typical clues, and if you able to find this typical clues for this kind of question, you will finally land into the final answer, then correct answer, I would say rather. Yes, so go through this question, that is what again a practice question for you to trace out what sort of clues have been given, and then let me know in the comment box. We will be discussing it in the next session. Then bioaccumulation and magnification, guys, see, these are the two concepts. These are simply related with the trophic pollutants. What are trophic pollutants? When just like in ecosystem or tropical level, if excessive elements are being added and leading to some impacts, right, that is what a trophic pollutant itself. Bio, it means life, okay. Bio, it means life, and accumulation, it means storage. Yes, that means storage. So whenever the tropical pollutants are getting stored in life or tropical level itself, okay, or ecosystem, that is simply a bioaccumulation itself. Yes, that is what a bioaccumulation it is. Like DDT, you will find mercury is equally that kind of example. See, over here in the food chain, you will find mercury or any other pollutant that when enters into the water body, aquatic ecosystem, you will find first it is consumed by krill. Yes, that is remain in its body. Then into you will find this oyster, then into this tuna, and then into this shark also. Okay. So what this process is, it's simply accumulation or storage, that is a bioaccumulation. But what happens when you will find when it transfer in terms of tropical level, its amount rather goes on increasing. Yes, here it may be 1 gram per individual, है ना, one individual 1 gram. Here it may be 10 gram per one individual. Here it may be 100 gram, and here it may be 1000 gram per individual. When this phenomena is carried out, that is biomagnification. Magnification, it means amplify or increase. That is what this magnification as a process. Then I hope this concept of bioaccumulation and biomagnification is equally pretty much clear to you all. Now, just if you are clear with this concept, guys, let me know your answer to this practice question then. Okay, it is simply asking you for what is, like, you know, the best describe the process of magnification, and don't consider UPSC, there is no simple question that is being asked. Even single liner questions you will find in the examination also. So just like you can simply, if you have clarity, you can answer these questions there. Then ecological succession. Now, what is this ecological succession, guys? Ecological succession is simply, see, succession, it means what? Succession, it means simply whenever, है ना? See, succession, it means simply whenever from one generation to another, you know, knowledge, you know, value sets, property, assets are being transferred. That is what a kind of succession. And when this process is carried out here in the ecosystem or ecological study, that is ecological succession. So what happened when in a bare or nude land, when there is, you know, there is nothing. Yes, initially there was no vegetative mass that is present. However, what happened with time here, then small algal species, microspecies like was started to grow there, ants and they one, right? They then started to decompose chemically and then secrete their chemical material into, and this leads to soil formation there. Now this soil formation, yes, this soil formation further you will find leads to a condition where, you know, small species just could grow. Okay, very small species you may consider, like say for here grasses, right? So grasses. Then next, then there just could be shrubs. Yes, then there could be, you know, a comparatively complex mode of life, comparatively aware, that is herbs. Yes, then you will find tall grasslands, you know, in the next transition phase. However, the condition needs to sustain for a long. Then you will find forest, you know, deciduous forest in particular. Yes, trees, and then this one, and then you will find rainforest or evergreen forest. Okay, so when this kind of structure, you know, a life or biotic community gets stronger from a bare land to that ultimate position, that is what simply ecological succession. And then the climax community is what at the end of this process, right? Climax community. So generally climax community is stable unless and until other, you know, some external forces imbalancing it are generated. Okay, so that is what this climax community over here. Okay, so guys, there are two types of ecological succession. One is primary and second is secondary succession. See, primary succession is simply what when primary succession is what when, okay, the succession start from a bare or nude land and then continue till up to, right? But what happens sometimes, maybe in between, right, forest fire, volcano, earthquake or human made activities, this succession that reach up to this, it has now, you know, made plain, flat, and again started from this particular point, and there you will find where again this structure is what needs to be restarted. But remember, for the secondary succession, the growth is comparatively faster because it now has the conditions available, and hence it is comparatively faster than guys. Okay, so for the case of ecological succession, now see, in order to have better clarity over on it, now we shall start one question here on this. Okay, so that is again not exactly the PYQ, but yes, that help us to understand this concept well. See, primary succession begins on a previously unoccupied site. Yes, secondary succession is generally slower than primary succession. That is faster, however. Yes, so that is not a correct. And climax community remains stable until it disturbed by external factors. So answer is basically 1 and 3 to this question. I hope this concept of succession is pretty much clear. Then ecotone and edge effect. See, ecotone. See, for ecosystem, guys, See, there are no defined boundaries, clear defined boundaries. So what happened? You will find there are, whenever two ecosystems are overlapping, there forms an overlapping zone or intersecting zone, and that particular zone is to be known as ecotone. But this ecotone is not very simple, yeah, because this ecotone has overlapping properties, overlapping nature. What happens here? Some unique conditions taking from both the ecosystems are developed. Yes, so like soil condition, water condition, atmospheric condition. Then you will find the physiological conditions are uniquely developed over here in this region, and that gives rise to a very unique conditions known as edge effect. So edge effect is what? The result or effect of being on the edge. That is simply edge effect then. Yes, that is simply edge effect then. So example, Royal Bengal tiger, that you will find that is simply on the confluence of this deltaic ecosystem, that aquatic ecosystem, terrestrial ecosystem also. Or gharial you will consider, that is again a result of this. Okay, or you will find pangolin. There are number of examples, Nirakurunji flowers. Okay, there are number of examples. Those are very result of this ecotone and edge effect. See here, one ecosystem and the another ecosystem, so there is kind of overlapping leading to ecotone here in between. Okay, so coral reefs, mangrove, wetlands, okay, and this the delta right itself, these are all examples of this ecotone and edge effect. Now guys, in order to have further a clarity over on this, see what now this ecotone, consider the following. It represents the areas of transition between two ecosystems. Yes, that is absolutely representing this area of transition. Then species diversity is always lower in ecotones compared to adjoining ecosystem. No, that is not lower, that is rather very higher or diverse. Edge effect refers to increased population density at the boundary of two habitats. Yes, that is again correct. Answer to this is 1 and 3. See, that was not asked in PYQ, but yes, that is, this question help us to have a better clarity over on this particular concept. Sure. Now guys, the very bonus topic for this particular discussion is greenwashing. Yes, greenwashing is simply that particular case, guys. Greenwashing is what? Where you will find, yes, you will find the greenwashing is simply when, see, you must have seen many companies, and those are creating a kind of impression that they are doing something for environment, but they are actually not doing so. Yes, they are using green symbol, yes, just representing, creating a kind of impression, yes, that is a green product, but in reality that is not a green product, and that is a kind of a false impression that they do create, right? That is practice is known as greenwashing itself. Okay, greenwashing. Now like greenwashing, there is equally a concept pink washing, where women's rights, LGBTQ rights are basically portrayed in a way, or product are portrayed for that purpose, but they are not actually with the same thing. Then brown washing also, you can have a screenshot guys, and you will find all these meanings of this topic over here, because greenwashing was asked in 2021 I guess. Okay, so these topics are equally very much important. Black washing is what? When in Hollywood movies, if a black character is played by the white person itself, again leading to racial discrimination also. Brown washing is too, again that deals with the ethical and immoral values to be presented as ethical values itself. Okay, and grey washing, extension of greenwashing itself. Okay, now this is what a practice question for you, and you will let me know then your answer in the comment box. We will be discussing all this practice question, yes, in the next session. You can pause the video and have solve this particular question. So this is all about for this first session. Yes, I hope you have enjoyed it, you got it, those important topics, important PYQs, and practice, you will equally practice it, and we will continue that discussion in the next episode. Then thank you for being here, for watching it. Have a good time.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.